modern-day Dodge City on asphalt streets is a different kind of cowboy. 3 teams in an urban outpost, each with a different specialty. Those with the hose, those with ladders, and those with a medical kit. They ride into town with red lights flashing, not to save the day, but to save lives. They are the firefighters of West Baltimore Station Engine 13. Working in territory they call the Wild West. Downtown Baltimore, Maryland resembles many large metropolitan American cities, but less than 20 blocks away is another world. It's called the Wild West. The firefighters of Engine 13 are the busiest in the city. But life at the firehouse has its share of tedium. Equipment maintenance is an essential part of firefighting, and it's often a challenge to find the time to do it. In these early morning hours, the firefighters are taking advantage of rare downtime. It is the only time everyone will be in the house together today. At any moment, the bell may ring, and anything might be at the end of the call.
When you get caught, it's not too bad, but when you see the smoke, that's when your adrenaline gets going. And it's like a rush.
We got one! Down and over to the left. We got one.
This job can be one of the biggest emotions or feelings I think we go through is it's a lot of stress involved. We can be sitting in the kitchen one moment eating dinner, and 30 seconds later we can be riding up the street, see smoke in the air. You know that you're going to have a working fire somewhere when you get there.
Kenny Lee has been with Engine 13 since he left the fire academy 10 years ago. 23-year-old rookie Steve Lockett has been in the fire department for 18 months. He is the 3rd generation of Lockett men to be part of Engine 13.
Here we go.
Steve is backed up by Lieutenant Paul Novak, who is the son and father of firefighters. At 48, Paul is the old man in charge of Engine 13.
It's my responsibility to get off and call for the diameter and length of hose that I want taken into the building. And I generally base that on my intuition and experience. Then the pipe man will grab the indicated hose, begin stretching it into the door. At that point, it's my job to assist in pulling the hose along with him, trying to straighten it out and direct him where I think we should go to attack the fire. In a typical residential fire, if a mattress is ignited, what will happen? The mattress begin to produce smoke, heat, and flame. If the fire goes unchecked for long enough, the heat and smoke and flame will begin to expand. The heat and the flame will heat up the air and the other materials in the room. When they reach a certain point, the other materials, the wallpaper, the curtains, the roof area will burst into flames. The ceiling temperatures could be as high as 1,000 to 1,500 degrees, depending on the amount of contents that are burning in the room. Generally, if we can find the fire fairly quickly, the extinguishment on an average fire takes less than 5 minutes. After that's when all the hard work starts.
If Engine 13 is going to control the fire successfully, it's vital to ventilate the building. They call in the firefighters from the truck company who begin to open windows and to knock holes in the roof. They look for concealed spaces in the wall, floor, and ceiling. Anywhere the fire may have spread. Experience has taught them that flames can creep unnoticed into amazing places. In firefighting lingo, the pipe is the hose. The man who holds it, the pipe man, is the first one who gets to take on the fire. It's everyone's favorite job.
I get a lot of satisfaction if I'm on the pipe when I go in there and I got the lieutenant right behind me and tell me what to do, and I'll put it out. It's just me and the fire, and it's like I'll put the whole thing out. And afterwards, it's like you look around and see everything's burnt. It's like, wow, it was neat.
At this red brick house, the alarm was raised by a distressed mother who discovered her son's bedroom on fire. The engines arrived within 3 minutes of the call, and in the next 6 minutes, the fire was put out. But by then, the bedroom was completely destroyed. And although no one was hurt, the entire home was damaged by smoke and flames. The cause? A 3-year-old boy playing with matches. Even after the fire had been put out, the temperature in the room stayed at 120 degrees.
After the initial fire is knocked down, we tear the walls out, we tear the ceilings out to make sure that it hasn't extended into the walls to go upstairs or anything, because the fire can travel through the walls and the rafters and everything else. So a lot of people think that we're just destroying their house, but it's not. The reason for it is not just to destroy the house, it's to be able to tell if the fire is extended to another floor.
Here you go. Where's the axe?
A lot of people think the job's glamorous. They see us riding around in a big fire truck, or they have a picture of us sitting out front in chairs talking to people that are going up and down. What they don't see is in the middle of summer, going to a fire and becoming sick to our stomachs from the heat, humidity, because of all the work we're doing.
I'll be in the fire, fighting the fire, and I'll be gasping, side hurting, getting the cramps and everything. I'll see Lieutenant Novak, who's twice my age, he's still going around like there's barely even breathing hard. I'm like, I'm supposed to be the young one here. I'm the one supposed to be the one in some shape here.
Heat exhaustion is a life-threatening condition that plagues firefighters. Excessive loss of body fluid reduces blood volume, which in turn robs the brain of oxygen, causing firefighters to become faint or to collapse. In the summer of 1997, 250 Baltimore firefighters were treated for heat exhaustion. 13 were hospitalized. Truck 16 shares a berth with Engine 13. This $650,000 truck has no hoses. Instead, it carries a variety of ladders and needs 2 drivers. 33-year-old Steve Cobo, a third-generation firefighter, is one of them.
Truck 16 is a 100-foot aero ladder. It is tractor drawn. It has a driver who drives the front, and it has an operator in the back, which we call a tillerman. And his job is to put this truck in small areas where other trucks can't go. It also has an assortment of ground ladders, and it has an assortment of rescue tools that we'd use for the job.
Firefighters on trucks assist engine companies in getting into buildings. They are experts in forcible entry, going into a location where they can't use the door.
Truck 16, turn out. Possible forced entry, injured in a home.
Perched on the back end of 16, Steve Cobo has an unusual perspective on driving to a fire ground.
Truck work, I think, is very exciting in itself, but being back there, driving the back of the truck is exciting. It's like being on a big amusement ride. You constantly watch where you're turning, and the tillerman has to turn the exact opposite of what the driver is turning. So if the driver is turning left, the tillerman has to turn his wheel to the right to bring the rear end of the truck over to the right. And then when the driver finishes his turn, well then the tillerman has to bring the wheel back and line himself back in line with the driver. So your hands are moving all the time back there.
An injured man can't move to get help, and he's locked inside his apartment. No one has a key, but truck 16 has a ladder.
Alright, hey Mike, do the stick.
The hydraulic jacks, which come out of the side of the truck, they help support the truck, and they enable us to throw the stick. Throwing the stick to us is putting the aerial ladder in service. You actually lift the back tires up off the ground, so just to where the bulge is out of the tires. That way you know that your truck's weight is resting on those outriggers. And when you put the aerial ladder up, you need a secure footing for that ladder, because the ladder is very heavy. And you want to make sure you don't tip the truck when you're moving it in position and things of that nature.
Steve Cobo is the first up the ladder to assess the situation. When a situation is assumed to be life-threatening, a firefighter is legally allowed to enter a residence.
In there, Steve. I'm checking. I don't see him yet.
It's over here,
Bring here out. You need medicines, Mr. Richardson?
I had some pain that's on the table, but I can't get up. I can't get up. I was
Oh yeah, we good.
Sore up here? Oh, it was so long. I was trying to get my shirt on.
The man fell 24 hours earlier and dislocated his shoulder.
Hey, make sure they bring up a blanket or something with that Stokes basket, so we don't tear him up on it.
Baltimore has one of the busiest medic units in the world. They work non-stop all day.
Put your arms across your body. Damn, a truck man that can count.
Oh, my legs.
Take him just, we got that down just a little bit.
My head. What'd you do?
Often the fire trucks can get to a medical emergency quicker than a medical team.
How's that?
So all firefighters are EMTs, trained emergency medical technicians who are certified in basic life support.
I'm fine. He's gonna need somebody.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right, go ahead, Al. Proceed at your speed.
Come on.
Yeah, right back to it.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
The role of firefighters has changed dramatically in the past 10 years. Today, less of their time is spent fighting fires, and fully half their responses are for medic assists.
Engine 13, sick on the street.
Firehouse Engine 13's Medic 4 unit is kept constantly on the go. During an average 10-hour shift, medics respond to 20 calls to 911. Baltimore's 18 medic units are placed strategically around the city according to need. In Baltimore's Wild West, the need is one of the greatest. 28-year-old Sarah Need has been a member of the fire department for 1.5 years. She dates a police officer. 34-year-old Chris Sorensen, her partner, has a Bachelor of Science degree in emergency medical services. Chris lives on a farm and raises horses.
Terry again.
You need some oxygen. You need to stop calling us 4 times a day. 4 times? More than 8, at least. Where's your inhalers?
I don't have no medication, that's why I keep getting sick.
He's tight as usual. Come on, Jerry. Come on, you can take it.
The guy we just had is like a regular. We've had him about 4 or 5 times in the past month alone. Calls in, he's having trouble breathing, like he has asthma or whatever. The medic unit will come, pick him up, take him up to the emergency ward. Once he gets there, walks in the door, turns around, walks right back out again. A couple days later, you get the same kind of call, transport him again. It's like, it's a constant thing with it.